For hundreds of years, the aurora borealis, or northern lights, has had a deep spiritual meaning for Canada's Aboriginal Inuit people, often involving the lives of the departed, and a belief that souls of the dead dance in the aurora. But now, another strange light phenomenon has been documented in Canada that, as far as we know, is not part of any native traditions. So our question, what is it? January 2017, North Bay, Ontario, Canada. It's 2 a.m. and TJ Elzinga is woken up by his son's crying. Then, after putting him back to bed, Timmy looks out the window and sees this. Take a closer look. A row of multicolored beams of light stretch across the horizon, shooting down from the sky into the ground. TJ ventures outside in the sub-zero temperatures for another view.
Oh my goodness.
It was almost like something out of Star Trek or something like SCOTTY Beam Me Up, and I was very confused as to what I was seeing.
And I've never seen this before in my life.
Now, you might be thinking this is the fabled aurora borealis, which is visible in the Great White North about 240 nights a year. But that phenomenon looks like this, not these clearly defined beams of light. Writer Eric Grundhauser agrees that these are unlike any phenomenon he's ever seen.
You see something in the sky like this, it's not unreasonable to think that some people would think that they're UFOs.
The phenomenon is somewhat reminiscent of these mysterious lights spotted above Montreal's Hotel Bonaventure in a now famous 1990 UFO sighting. That's still unexplained. Could this be a similar anomaly?
So this is not something anyone would expect. I think that most people would see these as an unnatural phenomenon.
Now, when I first saw these lights, I figured it could be some man-made art installation, like the famous Tribute in Light at Ground Zero in Manhattan. But before we commit to any theory, let's let the experts illuminate us. Could these light beams be a hoax?
Upon investigation of the way that the camera captured this information, this shutter speed value is consistent with what we would refer to as nighttime photography or long exposure. The images are authentic. The images haven't been photoshopped in any way. Nothing was detected that suggests that they were fabricated or created.
Next, we go to astronomer and video effects designer Mark D'Antonio.
Is it a Martian invasion? Is it an alien attack? I know that people said that this was some kind of big UFO hovering in the sky, but there really isn't any structure visible. And you would think if it was that close, you would actually see some kind of structure.
So if these lights aren't alien in nature, could they be man-made?
Maybe it's a spotlight like you see when they try to announce a new car dealership opening. But there's a problem with that. A spotlight would stay at a relatively tight beam, and then it would fade out. But we see that these lights, they start off nice and sharp, and as they climb, they kind of feather into the night sky. So this looks markedly different from a spotlight.
D'Antonio rules out anything man-made, so are we looking at a natural phenomenon? We take that question to meteorologist Juan Hernandez, and he points to an uncommon and rarely photographed phenomenon called light pillars.
Light pillars are a phenomenon characteristic of cold climates. Oftentimes, when we have below freezing temperatures, we have ice crystals that are suspended in the atmosphere. Those ice crystals are in the shape of hexagons, so they're hexagonal ice crystals that act as a mirror where light is reflected towards the surface. It might seem like there's a beam of light coming from the surface of the Earth, but in reality, it's actually an optical illusion.
But while a light pillar can be generated by the sun, it turns out it's primarily our modern city lighting that causes them, and they're different colors.
It just depends on what the light source is, if it's a light post or if it's something coming from a residence or a building. Due to the differences in the sodium vapor within the lamps themselves, we're able to get distinct colors, such as the blue hues, we're able to get the orange hues, or even the yellow hues.
Our verdict? Light pillars. These rare phenomena have been spotted around the world on cold winter nights from Wyoming to Sweden, even the Antarctic. But conditions have to be just right for this rare phenomenon to occur. In most instances, when light pillars form, temperatures are minus 10 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, if not colder. So if you go out looking for them, don't forget your coat. As hip-hop greats, the Wu-Tang Clan famously advised, Protect your neck.